You can do everything right. You can have proper fertility, proper line, proper tillage, proper planting date, good variety selection. So everything you did that was right just got wiped out by that one issue. Welcome back, friends of G&K. I'm once again outstanding in my field, or just outstanding in a field, but we want to bring you a harvest video. Several of you have already started harvest. A lot of you are just getting ramped up. This is going to be a busy week. And so there's a few things we want you to think about while you're sitting in the semi, driving the combine, in the grain cart. Many of you may not think about this, but 2025, or the 25 season, actually starts now. So the things you do today impact what happens next year. So be thinking of some of these points as you're harvesting and as the fall's unfolding. These are really important to set the stage for a successful 25. One thing that I think is done well by most people but often overlooked is residue management, particularly as it pertains to soybeans. These beans aren't quite ready yet. Let's go look at a field that was ready. I love driving by a bean field where you can't hardly tell where the combine ever drove. Most people, I think, do a good job of setting their combines, but distribution of this residue is super important, especially as you get 45-foot heads, 40-foot heads. Throwing that stuff out there becomes even tougher. This is what I'm trying to avoid. Here's a scenario right here where you see a little bit of streaking in the residue. You got heavier residue and lighter residue, and that affects everything moving into next year. So this is a solid mat. This is going to harbor more moisture, especially if I'm in a no-till situation or trying to establish cover crops or trying to get my herbicide activated. It affects all that stuff. This is going to harness a lot more moisture versus this area over here where it didn't redistribute and this is already bare ground. Residue distribution can even affect tillage. For those of you doing tillage, even if you're disc ripping or deep tillage, the heavier residue will harbor moisture longer where there's no residue. So it really affects all scenarios, whether you're no-till, tillage, deep tillage, cover crop. It's super important to get distribution of residue. And you only have one chance to get it right. You can't re-harvest your field. These beans are already right here. Another part of combine setup is to pay attention to harvest losses. I've already witnessed a couple cases already this year of some excessive harvest losses. Now part of that is because we were running some 8 and 9% beans, which that's really tough to manage. But just a couple pointers. 2 kernels of corn in a square foot constitute 1 bushel. 4 beans in a square foot constitutes 1 bushel. So just something to keep in mind as you're pulling back residue and looking behind your combines for settings. Losses don't necessarily just occur out the back of the combine. A lot of cases it comes at the header itself. And most of the losses that I've even witnessed already this fall came at the header itself before it even got into the machine. Here's an example of too much header loss. When calculated up, this right here was actually about a 40 bushel difference because of too much loss merely from settings. Staying in step with our preparation into 25, starting in the fall of 24, another important thing is weed management. So we have a mixed bag here. We got people that are doing cover crops, people doing tillage and no tillage. But if you have some tougher to kill weeds, particularly perennials, dandelions and thistles, for example, the absolute best time to control them is in the fall. 2,4-D dicamba applications are not that expensive. And if you want to eradicate them, they got to be sprayed in the fall because they will pull down sugars and accumulate once we get a frost, and it takes herbicide all the way down to that root zone and it wipes it out for next year. Not every field needs that. It may not be a blanket approach to your farm. You may have isolated fields, problematic fields. You don't necessarily have to hit every field you have. A lot of times perennials like this, you can set them back in the season if you wait till spring, but you will not take them out. They will survive and come back on. So if you want to get rid of perennials, you got to do fall applications. I guarantee the top of that hill that's all green is solid dandelions. and that will suck the life out of next year's crop, whether it's corn, beans, anything. You can do everything right. You can have proper fertility, proper line, proper tillage, proper planting date, good variety selection, but it starts right now. If you don't manage those dandelion patches, they will suck the life out of your crop. So everything you did that was right just got wiped out by that one issue. Boom! So take care of it right now. So I would be remiss at G&K if I didn't mention soil sampling, because that's a lot of what we do here. Seasonality of soil sampling doesn't really matter in terms of what time of year you take them. We take a lot in the spring and we take a lot in the fall. But what does matter is having a plan and allowing us to help you plan. If you're a fall sampler with us at G&K, get us your crop intentions so we can keep things on track. Times are tight. It's time to know what you need or know what you don't need, but we can help execute that plan. So once again, we thank you for tuning in. During harvest, there's lots of seat time in the truck, semi, grain cart, couch, wherever that might be. If you got seat time, you can always watch G&K YouTube videos. We got one fan. Like and subscribe. Hopefully we hit a few ideas to make you think about why we still got lots of time in front of us. Until next time, thanks so much for watching. 4 kernels of corn in a square foot constitutes 1 bushel.
No. You said
2. Damn it. My hard drive's full. I forget half the time. Until the next time, we'll see you in the next. What's so funny?
But until the next time, thanks for watching.
Until next time, we'll see you in the next video. I still said that wrong?
You said it again. Just say, but.
Newman.